Hello, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to you all from Rising Together TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to your time and wherever you are watching from. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, please don't fail to hit the red subscribe button down below and also the bell icon for notification so that whenever I upload a new video, you will always be the first person to be notified. This case that you are about to watch is a case of tenancy dispute. The defendant and the complainant are right in our office. Please stay tuned as we interviewed both of them for peaceful resolution. Until we come your way next time, remain blessed and bye for now. Ciao.
To evict Mr. David since his tenancy expired March 2020. So after the March 2020, he told me he's going to pay after by October ending, that's October 2020. After he has been telling me he's going to pay, and I told him, I gave him a quick notice that he should move out of the house by November heading, which is going to be like the ninth month. So he now wrote an undertaking after pleading, calling from the wife and him that he's going to pay by I think early February, that's 2021. Unfailingly, he couldn't meet the promise. So I now told him, move out of the house. We need this apartment. After March 2021, he pleaded again that he would write an undertaking that by June ending, that he's going to move out. And I told him, okay, since you met the elders in the area, they came to me, they spoke to me as an elder, and I listened to them. So you now told me as at June, before June ending, which is going to expire the undertaking he gave me. He told me he has gotten an apartment, that they are almost rounding it up, and I said, okay, fine, which is already into July. After the undertaking expired by June ending, at the mid July 2021, he told me he has an apartment already that is moving in, that in the next 2 weeks, that was July 2021. Since then, I couldn't hear anything. I have to come here. So,
July.
yes, July last month.
He has gotten an apartment.
Yes,
And that he's packing out one.
by July ending.
Give him money.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is David Udo.
Okay.
I'm the tenant to Mr. Kola Machi in an apartment at number 16 Lower Shane Street, located at Ikotu. Actually, I and Mr. Matthew Kola, we've been in a good relationship as landlord and tenant. Not until he came up with the idea that I should leave the place, which I asked him what happened. He told me that he wanted to use the place, and then before then, to be honest with you, I lost my job sometime October. Yeah, I think October precisely 2018, which he himself is aware. Even after that period that I didn't have anything to do, I was also trying to pay up. If he can be honest, I pay up the rent until March 2019. I got another job. Then there was an outstanding rent of 65,000 naira that was supposed to balance it, which after I got the job, I paid him that 65,000 naira. And so the rent supposed to expire March 2020. So as at that March 2020, he came up with this notice. I have a copy here with me. I wish to tender this for if you
Go ahead, you can talk.
Okay. So he came up with this notice of increment in the tenancy fee. I used to pay 130. So when he came up with this idea that he served me this copy that my rent has been increased from 130 to 160. I was not around, I was at office, I was at work. Then it was my wife that was at home when he came to drop this copy with my wife. So I called immediately when my wife put the call to me that landlord came with a new rent. And I called him, I said, okay, you know how I just tried to stand on my feet again, that I would plead though, that at least let me continue to pay the 130. He said no, that it's the same thing he gave to every other tenant. So I pleaded with him and said, okay, fine. At least if you can reduce something out of it, maybe I will be paying you 140. That I can't do anything beyond my power. He said no, that we should leave it at that 160. I agreed with him. I said, okay, no problem. Because I know what it takes to get another apartment again. I said, okay, fine, 130 to 160. So I put S together with my wife and we agreed that, okay, I'll be paying him that 160. So that was March. And that was the period when COVID-19 came up. Because of the nature of my job as an electrical engineer, I was not among the people that were stopped to come to office by our management. So I was going to work, but our salary was sliced down there because management could not meet up the expenses. So I was supposed to renew the rent by March ending 2020. But as a result of the COVID-19, I couldn't. And I put a call to him. I pleaded with him. I said, and even at that time, my mom also was seriously ill, diabetes. So I put a call to him that this is what is going on, that he should bear with me, which he also agreed. He considered me. So after the COVID-19, I was able to raise him half of the rent, which he collected. I paid him half of the rent. I think I gave him 70,000 naira. Both half. I gave him 70,000 naira. I paid into his account, that month's bank. Then I promised him that I will balance off the remaining rent of the 2020. Yes. Huh?
Half of the previous years.
No.
The balance.
The balance of the previous year, I've said it. The balance of the previous years was 65,000 naira, which I've paid you.
Okay.
Then the rents were expired by March 2020.
Okay.
That was when the COVID-19 set in. I called you and I explained things to you, which you also considered me that, okay, no problem, because of the relationship between us then. Then by was it January or so, I gave you the 70,000 naira as being part of the payment for the rent. And I said I will balance you the remaining one. I paid it to your diamond account. At least your bank statement will prove that. I paid it to your account. Then I also put a call to you. I went to give you 100,000 naira before, but I put a call to you. I said, because of my children's school fees, I can't afford my children to stay home, but take the 70,000 naira so as to pay my children's school fees. I'll balance you the remaining one. Then, after that, you come up with a quick notice dated here 23rd of March 2021. And you gave me 10 days to evict, to leave the place. It's here. You gave me 10 days to leave the place. And I called you immediately. At this time, it was also my wife that you gave this copy to. Even when my wife refused to collect, you forced her to collect the quit notice.
How do you mean by force?
She has to collect. She must have.
My wife.
Don't interrupt him. Because when you were talking, he was not talking to you.
But
What do you mean by you have to collect? Is it by force to collect notice from you?
It is not by force.
Or that you are a landlord, if you are giving them notice, you must force them to take it.
No, I didn't force everybody.
So why do you say she has to collect it?
She was at home and I have to deliver the letter to someone.
Uh-huh.
So when I met her and she collected the letter, it's not as if I forced
The husband say you force the wife, and you now say yes, she has to collect. As if
No,
it's
it's just
mandatory
the
that
way he was saying it.
I said it based on the action that took place that day. She was forced.
Okay,
Because-
explain to us why you say she was forced.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Because during the time of the contention between my wife and the landlord over the quick notice, as in for her to collect the quick notice, and she said no, that she can't collect it on behalf of.
Leave the quick notice and face me and talk.
Okay, man, sorry, man. So then I think she went in and put a call to me.
Yes.
That is my wife. That the landlord is here, forcing her to collect the quick notice. That he came with a quick notice. I said, why? So he said he doesn't know. I said, so have you collected the quick notice? He said no, but he's forcing him to collect the quick notice. It was then I told my wife, collect the quick notice from him.
Well, was he dragging her hands to pick the quick notice, or what did you say?
No. Yeah, forcing in the sense that he was asking my wife to collect, and my wife said no. So he was like that my wife has to collect, and my wife.
Menstruation no be force. When you want to say
he persuaded.
that he forced the person,
No,
you
no.
have to hold her hand, you must take it.
He persuaded her to collect the quick notice, and in the process, my wife said he also take a snapshot, as in snap her while she was collecting the quick notice. Maybe he actually want to use that as an evidence that he actually served the quick notice and my wife collected it. So I said, okay, no problem. Then I called him immediately. Because for everything that happened, I must put a call to him. So I called him while I was in the office that I learned that you were at home.
Leave that your phone. We are not in the classroom here. You leave the phone and concentrate to and listen to what he's saying.
So I put a call to him immediately that I learned that you were at home to serve us a quick notice. That why, what is going on? And I mean, in a good relationship, I don't expect this from you. He said yes, that I shouldn't bother myself in balancing up the remaining balance, that I should rather add money, look for money and add to that balance and look for somewhere else to rent. And I told him, I said, at this point in time, you know what the situation is, that it should not be easy for me to get another apartment, because my wife read the content of the quick notice that we were given 10 days to evacuate from the apartment. And I said, it's not possible that way. So I pleaded with him. If he's honest here, every action that he came up with, I'm always like trying to relate with him. I don't take violence. So I was pleaded. I said, Mr. Kola, calm down. That let's settle this thing. I'm going to pay you the outstanding balance. At least I gave you 70,000 now. The remaining balance is about maybe 80,000 or thereabout. I said, I'm going to give, as far as I'm working, I'm going to balance you that rent. So he said something which I remember and I want to put to him now. He said that the month is counting. The year is almost rolling over now, and we are about to enter into another year. Does it mean that I will carry the outstanding rent? So I said, no. Is that what you? So I told him, I said, is that what you wish me? I know I've been paying you your rent yearly without owing you 1 naira. At least I passed in there March 2013 till 2020. I've been paying you. I've not been owing you. Or I think till 2019 I've been paying you. I don't owe you. In fact, before the rent due, I will pay it into your account just to relieve me. But because of the circumstances that surround me then, I became like a tenant that is now owing a landlord. So I was rubbing mind with him then. He said no, that I just have to leave. Then after he asked me, because I was listening to when he said that I gave you an undertaking. I never gave you an undertaking. You asked me to give you an undertaking of 2 months that I'm going to leave the place. And I said, I can't give you an undertaking for 2 months. If you insist that you want me to leave the place, which I understand, fine, give me like 6 months, I will leave. If by 6 months I don't leave your place, you can take any action that you want to take. If you remember, that was what I told you. I said, give me 6 months to be able to gather up, then I will leave the place. That in fact, I'm even tired of the environment. Let me just leave the environment. But give me 6 months to be able to gather money, then I will leave. He insisted. That was when I have to call people to talk. At least there's an elderly man that lives opposite the house. They're into a good relationship. I went to that man's house that night when he threatened that he was coming to throw my things out. That in fact he's supposed to come with police. Although I was not around, it was my wife that told me that. And I said, so I met his junior brother and I said, look at what your brother is saying. Has he come to that level that you want to come to the police? That you're supposed to arrest me with police? That I open your house or what? So I got annoyed and I went to that man and I reported the issue to the man. The man put a call to him immediately that day. I was there I picked the call and they were talking. Then he insisted. He said he was not going to listen to the man. The man asked me to go home that night. That I should just go. That maybe by the next day he will call him and talk to him. So he has like been mounting pressure on me that eventually I said, okay, fine. If you want me to write the undertaking, bring the undertaking. In the undertaking, I wrote there 3 months. I wrote there on the undertaking 3 months that by 3 months' time, I should be able to, raise money. Then I was doing contribution in my place of work. Because of this issue of house, I have to join contribution. It's not my intention. So I have to join contribution in my place of work to enable me raise money to get another place. So after I wrote the undertaking, I gave it to his sister. The next morning, he called me and said that it was not our agreement, that 3 months wasn't our agreement. And I said, I've never been to agreement with you in the first place, but because the pressure you're mounting on me is disturbing my mind. It doesn't allow me to concentrate. Give me that 3 months. He said, no, he's not going to accept the 3 months. There has to be 2 months. I don't want to be honest with you, and to be honest with this chamber here, I don't want to go into any kind of violent, or it's not as if I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's not as if I don't know my right. But when I rented the place from him, I didn't come through violent. And I don't see why I should leave that place through violence. And the same thing I put to him also. Even all those white that have been sending his junior brother to come and disturb me. In fact, at a point, the brother was telling me that I told the brother, I said, there's a place I've gotten right now. It's a new building, it's a new structure. I've deposited some money, but they are yet to round up the place. The brother said, can he come with me to inspect the place? I said, why? Why do you have to come with me to inspect the place that I told you I've just got it? Does it mean that I'm lying to you or something? So it's very embarrassing situation. So that night, the brother put a call to him that he's with me right now. I believe he sent the brother to come and meet me. So I spoke with him that night. I said, look, Mr. Kola, the idea you are going about this thing, I don't just like it. Your brother is just here with me, and I've explained things to him. He's asking me that he would like to come with me to come and inspect the place that I said I've just rented. I don't really understand. So he said that, well, because I told him I'm going to leave in 3 months' time, 3 months' time has elapsed, that I'm staying in the place. I said, yes, eventually I will leave your place. Not until yesterday. I think, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, I got this notice when I came back from work that I should appear here for the same matter. So that is the situation on grandma.
Give him mic. Did you actually give him 10 days notice to pay the house?
After I gave him the initial March to November, March 2020 to November 2020, he pleaded that he has the agreement here, which he wrote by himself. He wrote by himself that he's going to pay by early January or February. And I told him, okay, I don't have issue telling me things, but he has been failing over the years. All this is saying is paying. There has not been a successful payment. Right from day one. So it has been like, I told him I can only have understanding. If you tell me you pay your money expire March 2020, your first money you brought is going to be maybe in after 4 months. Then before you pay your balance in another 6 or 7 months, you pay conveniently. There has never been, and I told him, I'm only looking at the children because I was once staying there. So I used to play with the children. So it's all those things that I even have a record. I was asking Mr. Udo, has there been any violence? I am not expecting him to come and be saying all this here today because I've never. People in the area, they can witness, even the whole area, they can be witness of who I am. And he's here today to say all this, that the wife I'm doing this. Even your wife cannot tell me I've made any violence with that, or even raise my voice. But I'm very shocked to hear all this today.
So are you putting him based on the ground that he cannot be able to pay his rent as a
Yes,
or other thing attached to that?
others, like there was a day, maybe he went to borrow, he brought another wife in, there was so many confusion.
You want to do what?
He brought another woman. I don't know the story completely. The lady was beating the wife, packing. He also beat the wife and take the wife out of the house. So I don't know. I don't want to venture into, because there is a video. That day I called you, said you settle everything. So immediately you went out without settling, and I called you, said you want to raise the money. I don't know, maybe it's money matter. So, and again, the wife, she's in charge of all the utility bill. The utility bill she has been collecting, her and the husband has been spending it all this while. To an extent, there was a day I needed the utility bill to use for a document. And I became, how is this 30 something from a zero naira? She now started, the husband borrowed the money, blah, blah. I said, no problem, just make sure you close it out. But when it now get to an extent that they started bringing seed to the house. And I said, I can't cope with all this again. If you did not pay up the utility bill, I'm going to disconnect your light and water, because you cannot be owing lights. It's not my responsibility or your utility bill. Till now, they are not paying Loma, nothing. They are just there. And I've kept quiet over years, since March 2020. If you are saying you pay me, blah, blah, the one you are supposed to pay, you send someone, you said you deducted 5,000 naira. I said, no problem.
Use your mind.
That's the 65,000 that is claiming, which is 60,000 person paid into my account. And I said, okay, it's fine. And he told me he's going to call the person back. And I said, no problem. Till now, he didn't pay.
So he's owing the utility bills.
Utility bill, even the utility, the one the wife collected from the old compound, she mismanaged the fund.
Till this moment.
Till this moment.
And the tenants will go there responsible.
Yes, but they actually called me and I told them there's matter arising already. If you guys started holding this lady, at the end of the day, it will be like maybe the old tenant, they are against her. And I said, you guys should just calm down. Whatever is their own part, they should pay. I know the debt is coming back to me. I will accept it. But for others, pay your utility bill. Because she's not responding and she said there's nobody that can hold her. So that's why I just.
How possible? They paid the money to her.
Yes, they paid the money to her.
And she think they will just pack out of the house without refunding people's money. Is that what your wife is doing there?
No, ma.
No, ma. What is funny there? Why are you laughing?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. It's because the way he said it.
How did he say it?
It's not true. All what he's saying here is not true. I'm surprised. It's not true. I wish.
Okay, what is not true? Give him the mic, let him respond. Tell us the truth.
Thank you, ma'am. The idea that he said, the idea of my wife being in charge of the utility bill. My wife has never been in charge. It is his own sister that being in charge of utility bills.
So how did you borrow the money they paid?
Good, ma'am.
From the sister?
Because this thing caused issue between me and my wife. When there was a tenant that he also evicted from the house, that is Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank had been owing utility bills, especially Loma. Mr. Frank had been owing utility bill because I inquired from my wife. I said, how come? How much is utility bill? I think she said it was 11,000 now. I said, how come? For the Loma. I said, how come that we are owing 11,000 naira? She then said that no, that we are not the one owing. That our own money that we are owing from the lawman was 1,007. That it was Mr. Frank that packed out, that is owing that money. And I said, okay, fine. Let Mr. Frank come down to the house and explain himself. I think he came, though I was not around. He came, even Mr. Larry also can testify. Mr. Frank came and explained. I don't know what was how they ended up the matter, but my wife made it known to me that it was Mr. Frank was owing normal bills and and what's it called, NEPA. The only money that we are owing our own side for the lawman was 1,007, and the reason why we have not paid that way, it's not as if I don't want to pay, but he never wants us to pay that money again because he has given us quick notice to leave the house. He disconnected our water and light. Even the light, I'm not owing NEPA bill. You know quite well I'm not owing. We're using prepaid. There was an issue on prepaid, which he went to collect, and when we subscribe on that prepaid, we never have light. We've put a call to him severally, and I don't know what he's doing about it. So for like months, 3 or 4 months, we've not been using NEPA. We've not been having access to light because of the prepaid. They said they need to reprogram the prepaid, whatever. I don't understand. But after a while, the other tenant, maybe it was his own idea, they put heads together and resolve the issue of prepaid. Now they have light. So I came back that day and I discovered that there was light in the compound, but we don't have light. Then my wife told me that landlord came with a technician outside to come and disconnect our lights and water. So all these things, I summarize it to be the idea of we leaving the house. That is why probably he's doing that so that it would, make us to live there on time. A kind of inconveniencing also to make us to leave that place on time. So I didn't bother to disturb him again. That my wife collected utility bill and spent it, that is a pure lie. Because I told my wife, which lawman money do you? In fact, I have to go and meet one of the tenants that occupied the 3-bedroom flat upstairs. I met with the woman. I discussed with the woman. The woman told me,
go ahead.
Okay. So I discussed with the woman that is it true that my wife has been collecting lawman bills and that he spends the money? The man was like that. He's also hearing this. I said, I don't understand what is going on. That all I know is that it is Fumi who has been collecting utility bills. And there was like a time that she was even being accused that when they gave her money, she doesn't pay, especially for the NEPA. Then we were using analog before it was changed to prepaid. That she doesn't pay complete money. And when they bring the bills, they will see the calculations of the arrears appearing on the bills. So when did my wife start collecting start handling the utility bills? I met with my wife and I explained to my wife, I said, is it true that you have been collecting utility bills? He said, no. So how come people are accusing you? Let me understand. Why are they accusing you that you have been collecting lawman and NEPA and you spend the money? So that is it. My wife can never hide anything from me. That one for sure I know. So she told me that it was one of the tenants that left, Mr. Frank, and I spoke with Mr. Frank. Mr. Frank also confided in me that he was owing.
Okay. You told them that you've rented another apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
but
why having 2 parts?
The place is still under. It's a new building at Ijegun. It's a new house. They are still doing some work in the house.
Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry. So it's a new house, and they are still working on it. They are still working in that place. They are still like a kind of innovation because it was a face me and slap you building. So they just convert it. They just convert it to.
You will go and park in there. You will go and park in there. If you see completed building and you leave completed building to go and look for uncompleted building, park in there, meaning you are comfortable with that. Otherwise, you would have used your money and go and pay house that is already complete and you need to park in. Somebody have given you notice to go out of his house. Then you said you went and paid to a new building that is yet to be completed. What kind of story is that? How does the story sound to your ear?
It's not that. The house is almost completed now.
Almost completed in what way? Are you the one building the house? You answered me. Are you the one building the house?
No, I'm not the one.
So why did you have to go and pay for uncompleted building?
It's not uncompleted like that. It's a kind of renovation work that is going on.
So how long will they do the renovation work?
As the last time I visited there, that was last 2 weeks. I went there. They are about to fix the door. It's the door, and then the
But
plaster.
all of you, both you and our staff will go there today. They will go and see the stage of which the house is. And let whoever that is doing that house tell you when you will park in and leave somebody's house.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, that is how this should be done. You cannot go take money and give somebody for uncompleted. Today they are doing ceiling, tomorrow they are doing door, next tomorrow they are painting house. Then you just say when you are staying, you are supposed to be paying rent there. And if you are not paying, you have asked for time, which they have given to you. Do you need to take the money to go and give to uncompleted engineer or landlord to be completing his or her house for months? That you are giving notice doesn't mean you should not pay your rent. The period you are staying, you are to pay, except the landlord decide to forfeit. So I heard when you said because they've given you notice, why would they expect you to be paying rent? Once they have
No.
given you notice, it's a notice. That doesn't mean you should not pay the months you are spending there, you must pay, except you forfeit it. The last notice they gave to you was when?
I that was the
It was more
that
than
was
Which
the
month was
undertaking
that?
July.
this May. He wrote
May.
it in May that it's going to pack out June end.
You say what?
He wrote it May. The initial one he gave me was to terminate by April.
He gave you the note. He gave you the undertaking based on your pressure. Not that he have the house available, the money as at that time to vacate the place when pressure is too much. You compare someone to write undertaking that he or she cannot meet up. Then eventually it will turn down to the actual time the person is asking from you. But at the time he was begging for 6 months and there is any understanding
He was
between both
begging
of
for
you.
3 months.
He said
And
6 months.
no, 3 months.
It was 6 months. I told you. You said no.
6
Our
months
call-
after one
our-
year, 1 year, 3 months.
Our 1 year 3 months, but I paid you part of that rent.
When
The 1 year 3 months I paid you. You said when? The 1 year 3 months that you are talking about, I paid you. I gave you 70,000 naira. Yes or no? I paid you your diamond access.
But did you know when? Are you aware when he lost his job? Are you pressing phone or what? Or you are
no,
reading what he said from?
concerning the money he said he paid. He said January. I can see my account statement. January is here. So I want to show you. You should point it out.
I paid you into your account 70,000 naira.
It's okay, it's fine.
Mr. Udo,
Yes, ma'am.
both of you, yourself, the landlord, and one of our staff, will go to where you rent house now. You have to check, then they'll bring report to us which day the place will be ready for you to pack out. Because it won't be proper you stay in that place and you're having issue with them, whereas you have paid in another place. So if you pay since May or since June, we're already August. What is the person renovating? Don't you tell the person you are also under pressure where you are living that you have to vacate the place? So who did you give the money? Is the agent or the landlord of the place?
Actually, it's not as if I have paid the money.
Actually, I've entered.
Yeah.
You know anything that come with actually or my name, sir? What is actually the agent?
The thing is that the truth is that I went to inspect the house. It was under renovation. Okay, so and I spoke with the landlord's son because he lives there. The landlord stays at Selegbe. I spoke with the landlord's son that how soon would they round up the place so I can move in. So he said that it depends on the engineer, and that is only the cheapest place that I could afford for now. So I made him to understand as soon as they finished off the place, they should let me know. Even last 2 weeks, I was there too with my wife to go and inspect the place. When we got there, they have finished the work, the ties, but the iron door that they want to put at the entrance was remaining.
It doesn't cost them more than a day to put time on it.
But according to him, he told me that once the father comes around, because the father stays at Selegbe and the place at Ijebu, the house is at the Jegu. So he said once they come around, they fix the doors in the many other apartments, then I can move it. So I was even telling them that if they fix the door, I can move it by myself. I can move it in they pay the money and then move it.
Give us the number of the person.
Okay, ma'am.
What does it take to bring out the number? You
I
don't know
have,
the
I
name of the
have,
person.
yeah, I think there's a problem here. I actually store agent, but I only store the name. I save it, but the number is not appearing. I
But
don't
you
know.
told me you called this person last
I said I was there last week. I was there. I went to the place last week.
week.
I went to check the building, the house last week,
Mm.
to check how far they've gone with the work.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I just saw it agent, but the number is not appearing. I don't know if I can put the call to my wife. I can forward. I think my wife should have the
Right.
agent's number.
Right. And it's not fair about that.
Yeah, I don't Oh, fine. But quickly, the contact number agent yẹn, ibi tí ìyá kìíní mú wa lọ yẹn, tí orúkọ woman ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn, what's that? Ìyá that place tá a lọ ibi side ilé ọ̀hún, Alex yẹn, that building, ṣé o ní contact ẹni yẹn lọ́wọ́? So they check bí àwọn lè rí kó forward ẹ̀ sí. Ní wọ́n fẹ́ verify ni ibi tá a sọ wọ́n fẹ́ pè nìyẹn. Okay, and mo ṣe mistake on myself. I thought I actually saved the name agent. Agent kan ló gbé jáde, the number didn't come out. I just the name the agent kan ló gbé jáde for contact. Okay. Okay, all right. Forward. Sorry, just give me like 2 minutes time or a minute. Let's have quickly forward and then number two.
When are you paying the rent?
The new rent?
Yes. Not to him. The place you said you are parking.
Okay. I wish to pay. It depends on. I'm sorry to use this word. It depends how. I don't want to give them the money when the place has not been fully repaired. I mean, when they have not finished the work. I don't want a situation whereby after collecting the money, it will now become an issue. That's why I'm like monitoring them to see how far they've gone on the place. But with the look of things, I'm very sure that it will be long. Once the place is ready, by next month, or I should be able to move in there. I'll pay the rent and move in there.
You say what?
He said, when am I going to pay the new rent where I want to go, where I'm moving to? So I said, based on the
How much is the rent?
170.
170
Yes.
for your own self-contained.
A mini flat, a room and parlor self-contained.
Room and parlor self-contained.
Yes.
That's what it told you. The only thing you will write here, because you are not imparted to all your Jerusalem story you are talking here. You paid money. You are to pack out and end there last month. Then after they said they are going there with the landlord, you said okay, you nod the head, okay. Meaning you give us assurance that you, the landlord, and our staff will be going there to inspect the place. Then ask another, they say, actually, you have not paid. So only you, how do we believe in what you are saying? What you write there is not, that there is no more going to be force. This is not force, this is not pressure. The undertaking you are writing now is your statement that we used to write your undertaking here. And you have to vacate the place. Except you are looking for trouble. Your story is so complicated. You are the one that paid for house. You are the one that see all completed building. You are the one that told them you're parking last month. You are the one that said you wrote undertaking under pressure. You are the one that said they forced your wife to take what is it called? Quick notice and all that and all that and all that. Then when are you going out now? You are still saying actually. Please let there be no actually after today. If that place, thank God you have not paid. So the money you have, you can equally rent another apartment and enter there. If they don't have money to fix the house, after all, there was no commitment from you. So there won't be assurance that they are going to give you the place. And for that reason, we're not going to depend on not completed invisible house that they are building. So you write here, either you go in there by that end of the month, or you live there and rent another apartment and park in there and vacate the place for them. That is what is going to happen. You have your rent already with you. You are waiting for who will complete his building. And there are so many vacant apartments that you can still rent and park in.
Ma, it's not as if I've not seen any other places, because even I would have even loved to move to another place rather than waiting for them to fix the door or whatever they want to fix. But most of the places I've seen is beyond my ability. Most of the places, that is the only cheapest place that I've seen. I'm yet to find, and I don't want to stay long in this
because
place.
You are looking for room and parlor self-contained, whereas you are in another apartment, so you must not stay there. If they have given you time, you must not have all your comfort to look for the apartment. So any other person can decide to pack into from a room apartment to 2-bedroom flat. So if that size is being done, then you cannot equally give somebody time to pack in from a room apartment to 2-bedroom apartment. Whenever you have the money for your comfortable, for the kind of apartment you want, you can pack in. So it's not done that way. If you have been given time to pack and you are not seeing whatever, then you pack into other lesser amount, pending when you have your choice. The issue is that if it's not even your desire to leave the house, if there is no problem, if you are not giving you notice, and I believe even if you are not giving notice, his house is not even your desired house. You will still want to build your own house and pack into your own house. If you build 2-bedroom, you still want to build duplex. You still want to build estates. So your choice, your desire can never be complete. You are waiting for your desired choice of house. So the best bet is to resolve the matter peacefully. If the person is not forthcoming, the apartment is not going to be ready between now and next month ending, then you look for other apartments, you pack into that place and move on with your life. Pending when God provides money for you, you go and rent flats, you go and rent a duplex. Is anything impossible? Yeah. So you must not wait till when they complete the building. If the building is not complete, please, you are try as a gentleman abide to this undertaking so that you and your family will leave the place and you move on with your life. You write your name here, your address, and you undertake to vacate the place on or before end of September 2021. All right, thank you for being with us. Have a wonderful week.